Hello. Welcome to another episode of Two Idiots Doing a Podcast. I'm Nate, joined by my co-host Daniel. Once again, if you've been with us for a while, we're on a quest to prove that we know ball/puck more than the average analyst. The analyst catching strays tonight is Henrik Lundqvist, deciding to rank Aiden Hill over as a better goalie in the Western Conference than Jake Otter, the Otter, and Daniel and I and Blake all didn't take that too lightly. Albeit, Dallas looked bad last night, but there were some questionable penalties in there. And the other analyst that'll catch a stray today, Shannon Sharp, because, I'm sick of your glazing, and, glazing for the sake of glazing isn't analyzing, all right, buddy? I would come up with one of those in 5 ones, but I'll give him credit. It's funny, and I'm not like that, so I can't think of something like that off the top of my head in the moment. So, but yeah, stop the glazing, Shannon. Like, Mavs in 5, and I meant to say Timberwolves in 5. Screw that one up. Oh well. Today
the Mavs own the Timberwolves because Luka was with them last year. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm sorry. I had a process there, chat. But for this one, since we're recording this ahead in advance, we're just gonna be doing a lot of quizzes, immaculate grids. We'll start with our usual stuff. We do have a couple brief topics we want to talk about for sports that happened recently, but for the most part, it's just gonna be a shorter, quizzes and ranting about a near epic collapse in fantasy baseball. So unbelievable. So, but we're gonna first start with an immaculate grid here, and we've been killing these lately. So, and if we're ever showing these on the YouTube Shorts or whatever, and you see one of these grids, ignore that one. That was not a great one. I think it's your turn to pick a number. Where are you going?
We've already done it. Dang it! I was gonna say in honor of 420, but we've done that one. So we're gonna do 240.
240. I got a feeling this one is going to involve the Kansas City Royals. I just got a feeling. I don't know why. I think it's going to involve the Royals. And look at that. I was so wrong, chat. And to be fair, one of the teams is in their division, so not horribly off. So for the Rose, it'll be the Pirates, the Brewers, and the White Sox. So that could be okay for me. You might be cooked. Yeah. And the columns are the Braves, 300 plus home runs and subpar 3 ERA. Lock it in Aramis Ramirez for the Pirates. Bang, baby. Yes, sir. Now, I think Paul Konerko had to have done it. I was hoping that'd be a little lower. I was hoping people would go Jim Thome there. Or I don't know if Magda or Ordonez. I don't think Jermaine Dye did it. I was hoping they'd go a different direction there. But that's okay. 300 for the Brewers, the Prince Fielder. Had to have, right?
I don't know. He got injured a lot at the end of his career.
Yeah, but in his prime, he was hitting close to 50 a year for a good 4 or 5 year stretch. I think there's the same kind of logic there on top of PEDs. We could come back to it. I mean, subpar 3 ERA should be easy, especially since probably just, I'm just going to go John Danks. Shout out to my boy John here. Prayers to him because he was recently diagnosed with cancer. He didn't get a subpar 3 ERA as a relief pitcher?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's insanity. White Sox are well overhyping this guy then. But anyway, recently diagnosed with cancer, so prayers up to him. That is ridiculous. I can't believe it. Holy glaze, then.
For the
wow,
Brewers,
White Sox
you
fans.
can do Devin Williams.
We could. And just to play it safe. Okay, maybe I should play it safe by saying Devin.
I
Okay,
was gonna say
5%.
I don't. I think people
Pirates.
think of starters and don't go relievers.
One, that's why I thought John Danks definitely
Yeah.
had it locked up. But clearly not. I guess sub 3 is hard. Maybe I should have thought, because, I don't know. I just assumed he was their closer for a while, and I just assumed at some point he would have done it.
Did Bednar
Pirates?
sub 3? I don't know. If
I
he's
don't
ever
know.
Good.
They ever have a pitcher that only pitched one game and then was out with Tommy John? But he, pitched 6 innings and only
I know
allowed 2
Steve.
runs? Oh, that wouldn't count. That'd be at 3 ERA. No, he has to be only allow 1 at that pace or go 7. Trying to think, AJ Burnett. See, going starter is a little dicier. I don't know at which way it's dicier actually. Garrett Cole. I don't know,
Did
Jim.
Chapman, when he was with them,
Chapman
he was
with
with them for a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of somebody else. I don't think he was very good in Pittsburgh.
Neither.
I again could be wrong. I feel like Chapman at this point is probably not, like if he's gonna go subpar 3 or 8, it's the Reds and the Cubs. He was really good with the Cubs. I do remember that. I mean, we could go Paul Skeens.
Yeah, that's just gonna be
That would be such a lousy answer.
skyrocketed.
So, well, we're doing multiple of these, so I'm going to roll the dice here. We're going to give another shout out to my boy Doc Ellis. I don't think he did it, but I'm going to risk it. Boom! 2%. Love pitchers that get no hitter off acid, am I right? Unbelievable. Okay, so we still need Brewer 300 home run hitter. I mean, did Nelson Aguilar play for the Brewers? I don't know if he ever even gotten that close, to be honest.
I mean, we can do Prince Fielder.
I feel like he's done
I'm
it.
just not 100% sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say in his prime, I remember watching he was a Cub killer, and he was getting close to 50 a year for from
Crazy.
08 to 2012 ish. Right before he went to the Tigers, he was hitting bombs, dude. So I figured it was as long as he had 1 or 2 30 home run seasons, he should have that locked up easily. Unfortunately, that's high, but I don't know the Brewers all that well prior to my existence. So, of course, it could have been a guy that played for them one game, and we went with a guy that played with their majority of his career, unfortunately. But Braves, okay, Braves, Pirates, Braves, Brewers, and Braves, White Sox. I know. Whoa, no, hang on. I don't think Fultonevich played. Crap. Dang it. I don't think Mike Fultonevich. I wish the Rangers were here. The guy from my hometown pitched for the Rangers and Braves. I would have thrown him on here. Would have given him one day. I'm gonna get him on here one day. But that today's not that day. Tim Anderson? No. This is kind of unfortunate.
Did
Why
Eddie
am I-
Rosario play for any of them? I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think he stayed more in the East more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is an obvious answer, unfortunately, but...
What?
What?
Interesting.
What? Chris Sale's at 2%? I'm sorry, I thought he was gonna be 45.
Yeah.
Who in the world are they going over Chris Sale? It's the second time we've done that now.
I didn't say stale
Okay,
because
well,
I expected it to be like 70.
yeah. Well, I'm glad I did that. Nice poll. W chat. Braves Brewers. Did Jesse
Ooh.
Chavez play for?
Orlando Arcia. Did he ever play for the Brewers? Because Adames never played for Atlanta.
I
Where
don't
did
know if he
Arcia
did.
come from? Because he didn't start with Atlanta.
I don't. We could try
don't think
Arcia,
it
but I don't. I don't.
Does that say 2016 was his first year? Okay.
It does.
Probably not. I thought he was older than that. Sorry. Thought he had more years in the MLB than that.
I want to say Jesse Chavez for Pirates, but I don't.
Did Tommy Pham ever play for the Braves? I don't think he did.
Don't think so. What about Andrew Jones?
Oh, Nope, never mind. I was thinking Pirates Brewers.
Pirates.
I was thinking
Brewers,
McCutcheon,
crap.
but
Charlie Morton? What about Charlie Morton?
yeah, I'm pretty sure Martin
No.
played for the Pirates. I'm trying to remember one.
Pirates?
I'm pretty sure he
Okay.
did.
Okay, alright. I mean,
think
that
he
one kind of hurts,
started
but
his career.
we got it.
Or
In
maybe
Pittsburgh?
not started,
Okay.
but he was young when he was with the Pirates.
Okay. We'll take that. Hmm.
Sheesh.
See, like, I know quite a few Brewers. I don't know Braves. I wasn't really traumatized by the Braves. I was traumatized by the Marlins, of all people in that freaking division. Stupid Marlins.
Yeah, I don't know the Brewers enough.
JJ Hardy. I'm gonna try Hardy. I don't think he played for the Braves, but I think he was just Baltimore. Yeah, I think it was just
he
Baltimore.
played
I think it was
briefly
just
for the Angels
crap.
too.
Dang it. All right, I figured that was too risky.
280's still not bad.
That's all right though. I'm not too. That's not a bad score. I'm gonna look at the Braves Pirates one. Oops, you had Orlando
He was
Arcia.
there?
He was there.
my
You should have
goodness.
committed.
I never.
I'm gonna half count it.
I
'Cause you
don't
did
remember
say it.
him
I
ever
should have
playing for the
listened.
Brewers.
Julio Franco.
Okay.
That's a name I need to get back in my mind. That's the dude that played till he was like 53.
That's
Freaking
crazy.
insane. Okay. That wasn't horrible. And we'll do another one, but we gotta go over to Pickle at least. So let me go share something else. MLB Pickle. Okay. I haven't done it on this site yet, apparently. So we are going to go with Alright, come on. I got it. I think I've already done this, but I gotta go big dumper. Alright, well, he's American and he throws righty. And
He's not in the AL.
okay. And he's not a catcher.
He's also not switch hitter. So.
Does Kyle Schwarber throw?
Bryce Harper.
You will go Bryce Harper. I'm trying to glaze my fantasy team. I'm not gonna lie. Oh snap! Okay, so we got NL East, and he bats righty, throws righty, not first baseman. Um, Bryce Terang, unfortunately, is a lefty.
And not the NL East.
He's also not the NL East. WNL East
Austin Riley
in my rotation.
Or you can do your
Austin
glorious King Schwellenbach.
Oh, we're gonna go Schwell. We gotta go Schwellenbach. Okay, all right.
He's young.
He's either 22 or 26. We technically don't. Oh no, he is 20. He's under 24 because 28 would have said within 2 years if he was 26. Okay. Well, it can't be Clay Holmes in my rotation. Can't be Senga in my rotation. Couldn't be David Peterson, who I streamed the other day. I've run through pretty much 4/5 of the Braves or of the Mets pitching rotation this week. I'm a Mets homer, chat. Even though I'm not a fan. Don't let my mom know. She hates the Mets.
Luis Angel Acuna a switch hitter or just a righty? Just put Acuna.
Should it?
It's A.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, he's Venezuelan.
It says he's right.
That's not gonna. I forgot.
Oh. I mean, we technically could try to see if it's the second baseman.
Is.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yes.
Beatty's a left-handed hitter.
So we said okay. So since it's NL East, we know it's not the Phillies and Braves. So that leaves us with Marlins. Is Xavier Edwards a lefty? He's switch hitter.
Switch.
And he's older.
I'm pretty sure Lopez is also a switch. Yeah.
Dominican.
Oh, he is just a righty. But yeah, he's Dominican, so and too old.
Too old. And the other two teams that it could be is Nationals. I keep doing this. Garcia hits lefty.
Oh, Dylan.
That's a bummer because. Oh, that.
CER or C.
Oh gosh, dang it! I keep doing that. That might fit the bill. Oh. Okay. It's 22. Okay, it has to be 22. And it has to be Marlins or Mets. It's all about the Mets, baby. I don't think it's the Mets. I think unfortunately it's the Marlins. But like I said last time we did a batter up, I said there's no way, or we did pickle. It was pickle. I said the Blue Jays had the whitest rotation or whitest bullpen, and it turned out to be the Blue Jays. So I could be totally wrong, but. I mean, just think about. I mean, I just named most of their starting rotation, and it can't be any of them.
A starter for the Marlins. Nah, he's
but he throws lefty.
Oh, he throws lefty? I thought he threw right. Okay, it's not him then. I also.
And we know it's not. So it could be.
Who's their closer? Now that AJ Puck and Scott are gone.
I have no idea. I know nothing about the Marlins right now.
Pitcher?
I need to lock in. It's a great question. I don't know. I know nothing about the
Stowers
Marlins.
Is their first baseman. And then you have Edwards and Lopez up the middle.
Stowers?
Ooh, nope. He hits lefty. Who's their right fielder?
I'll think about the Mets, but like their lineup is too old. Oh, who's their third? Who's the Mets' third baseman?
Vientos.
But he's not American.
It's Mark
What's
Vientos.
that? Sorry. Mark Vientos. That's right. Oh,
I mean, you can
oops,
do it.
chat. I'm gonna throw it out there just to confirm it's the Marlins.
Oh, it's not.
Oh,
Okay.
thank goodness.
Oh, it's him.
Wait, it could have been 25. Bang!
There we go.
That's crazy. Yeah, we knew that, chat. Thank goodness. It's time to study up on the Marlins, Daniel. We need to lock in because that was scary.
I even watched them play the Diamondbacks the other day, and I still don't remember half that lineup.
Yeah, that's not good. We need to start starting up on a. Well, maybe we should just lock in on certain teams for both. So you lock in a few and I lock in a few. Oh, we keep getting lefties on batter up. By the way, this is like the third one in a row. I don't think this is Harper, but I'll just throw it out. NL East again. So that's good. They're glazing the NL in these too.
James Wood. I know you don't want to hear that one.
I swear, we do not talk about all.
So it's not James. Luis Garcia.
I was gonna guess Luis Garcia. You gotta be kidding. Okay. Well, so we have. Didn't we say Stowers?
It was a Marlin, yeah.
Oh, it's a Marlin. Oh no. Are we cooked?
His last name is Hill. I can't remember what his. Oh, they're not American.
Sam
so
Hilliard.
It's probably not him either.
And Edwards, we said I can't remember. He hits righty, right?
Or does he Edwards is a switch. So it could.
Oh, it's too young anyway. Xavier Edwards is 25, I think. 27 is the right age.
Well, I guess it doesn't have to be.
We're so screwed. I don't know the Marlins, chat. Can you blame us? Batter Up just said ball don't lie. We're going to make you show your Marlins ball knowledge. And I know nothing, bro. Derek Lee. That was 2003. I know 2003. Marlins ball. Miguel Cabrera. He was a left fielder at one point, chat. You thought that would slide by? If you need ball knowledge on the Marlins in the early 2000s, I got you. Now, heck no. I think I'm conceding. I literally have no idea.
I'm trying to think of the infield. Stowers is the only guy I can think of. But he's American, and I don't know who their catcher, third base, left, or right fielder is.
I don't know their catcher, first, second, third, left, center, or right fielder are. I know shortstop.
Center fielder is Hill. He used to be a Ranger.
Alright, well, I think we're conceding here, chat. So I'm just gonna guess Cal Riley 3 times. Yeah, am I a homer? Of course. But he carried... Oh, it doesn't let you. Well, I'm just gonna glaze my lineup. I'm just gonna glaze them. Who was it? Jesus Sanchez. I'm gonna level. I have no idea who that is. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we did alright. That was not great, but, you know, it is what it is. So, come back next time, and hopefully we'll do a little bit better there. But, next up on the agenda here, really quickly, I had to give the people an update on my lineup. Yeah, so I survived a near catastrophic collapse. And I mean collapse, I mean not really a collapse, because her offense decided to hit 4 home runs on Saturday. As we were recording the last episode, she hit 4 home runs. To put the day at the end, I had 14 home runs to 13. In case if everybody wants to know what the rest of the league is looking at, the next closest team was, I think, 11. Couple. Um, so everybody else, yeah, everybody else was at anywhere from 9 to 11, and the person I'm facing had 13 or 14. So luckily, Daddy, Big Dumper, hit another one. That dude is unbelievable. I think he had 4 home runs for me this week. I mean, he bailed me out. I don't care if he struck out 15 times this week. He got 4 home runs, and that was huge. And then Ozuna, I did not have him for 2/3 of the week. He didn't play till Friday, and he got me a home run today. So that was the difference there. So that was a sketchy one, and part of what I also did too was I benched Clay Holmes today. He was supposed to start, and I was trying to play the game of in case my offense collapses, I refused to let her also beat me in pitching because she also had a starter, and I didn't want to, if Clay Holmes got lit up and Luzardo had, he had a quality start today, it very could have been possible that I lost the ERA. Not whip, but I could have lost the ERA. But Clay Holmes, benching him, did not. It wouldn't have, he went 6 innings, only allowing a run. So starting him would have helped me in the long run, but I was not risking it, considering what I was going up against. But other quick update: my glorious king Bryce Terang, 3 stolen bases to win me the stolen base category. God bless that man. What a freaking beast this dude is. I told you from the beginning, I glazed this guy. I told everybody, I love Bryce Terang. This dude is a freaking beast. And even though he fell apart in the second half last year, he's so good for stolen bases, and now his hitting is hit another gear. So as of right now, I'm gonna win 12-0. So should I be complaining? No, but I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, I'm sick of being stressed out and off it because it was close. Like 3 home run difference, 4 RBI difference, 2 stolen base difference. She was .03 away from OBP. Like, even though it was 12-0, it was a freaking close 12-0. So, and her lineup is good, but it shouldn't be keeping up with mine personally, in my opinion. But anyway, I just had to let the people know I dodged a catastrophic collapse. It could have ended as a tie. It very easily could have, if her lineup showed up today. Thankfully, it didn't. So, so going on to the next thing, I'm gonna let you cover this, but the Yankees had a no-hitter going into the bottom of the 8th against Tampa Bay. But I don't know how they lost it or what reason they lost it. So this is what you were going to explain to the people. I'm going to react to it live. So what the heck happened?
So they went back and looked at, I think it was it the 8th inning also, or was it before? Let me double check. Yeah, so maybe they took it away. No, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, it happened in the 6th inning. Their new prospect, I think his name's Sampson, center fielder, they just pulled him up yesterday. Got his first start today. I think his name is Sampson. Let me double check. Simpson. Yeah. Got his first start today. Hit a ground ball to Volpe. There was a misplay in the process of things. They initially ruled it as an error. Apparently, the official scorekeeper was still looking at it throughout the 7th inning, and I guess the top of the 8th inning, and then he changed the scoring from an error to a base hit. And from what the commentators were saying, they were saying it was the right one, like the right call, but they definitely waited too long to make that decision. He also probably definitely could have brought someone else in and be like, "Hey, I want you to have a fresh pair of eyes. I want your opinion on this. This is what I'm thinking." They and then they changed the ruling. All of that to say, after they changed the ruling, the first guy up in the eighth inning singled to second. So,
So,
regardless of what,
ball
yeah,
don't lie.
regardless of what the official scoring
But,
rule was, a single.
oh,
They let off the eighth with a single, and Max Fried for
that's horrible.
sure lost his no hit in the eighth. No questions
That's
about that.
horrible. That's such a sickening way to lose it, regardless. Though, even though he allowed a hit in the eighth. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
I,
man, that's
I haven't
crazy.
seen the actual play,
Um,
so I can't comment on like what I thought it was. But regardless, it's a little controversial. I think you waited too long. I think you just should have stuck with it. But also, Simpson's quick.
yeah, I can't take a
Yeah,
two full innings to
and like
decide,
Simpson's
man.
quick, so I can also understand why if Volpe had to rush
They would
him
rule it. Yeah, he is really
because he
fast.
almost beat out a single that was a ground ball to Goldschmidt. Uh,
Goodness sakes, that
yeah,
dude is
he
hauling.
was out of the right side of the box. So if he was out of the left side, he would have been easily safe. Max Fried by half a step beat him to first base.
Oh, look! A Yankees pitcher that covers first.
Well,
Who
that's
would have
because
thought?
Ron Washington probably taught him how to field when he was with the Braves.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's still funny, though. Good for you, in case you have one pitcher that knows how to cover first, or when they're covering it, gets his foot on the bag. So, hey, good for Max. So, that's a tough way to lose it, and have to wonder if that was in the back of his mind, or that kind of really threw him off in the bottom of the eighth there for sure. But yeah, good for you, Simpson. Way to rob that for the Yankees, I guess. I don't know. I do have my eye on him, so in case if I need more stolen bases. But it seems like Kyle Schwarber and Cal Riley have that locked up. So, but yeah, and the only other thing we had to cover for baseball, um, prayers to Baltimore fans everywhere. This is now the second time in what, I don't even remember when the Rangers did this. I think it was like '07
yeah,
or
it was
'08.
when they had Hamilton
Um,
still.
it's when they had Hamilton, but I think it was prior to the
Yeah,
World
I think it
Series
was.
team. Um, so I think it was late 2000s, maybe 20, maybe no, 2010 was your
Yeah,
first.
2010 was the first. 2011
Yeah, 2010 was your
was
first
back to
World
back.
Series year. It was 2010 and 2011. So it might have been like '08 or '09 when this happened, when the Rangers dropped a 30 piece in Baltimore. Baltimore allowed 24 to the Reds. You heard that right. The same Reds that went 37 innings without scoring just dropped a 24 bomb on Baltimore, which I guess leads the question: should the Orioles be hitting the panic button? So, what do you think there?
Yeah, I mean, their pitching, I think, is their biggest issue. They're going to produce offensively um, with that lineup. It's can their pitching be consistent? And so far, we've seen this year that answer is no. Yes, they're missing, I think, a couple of starters in that rotation right now. I know Grayson Rodriguez being one of them, and that's a big guy for them. They lost Corbin Burns, but they also didn't do anything in the offseason to bolster that starting rotation and really are relying on these young guys. So either it's going to be quick. Either they're going to find out quick they're not going to be in contention, or uh, they're gonna step it into gear and keep fighting because Toronto's not stopping, the Yankees aren't stopping, and we don't know what Boston is right now. Boston is, you see the good in Boston and you see the bad in Boston. So like,
You see the best and worst in them right
so
now.
I
Yeah.
mean, when Tanner Houck goes 6 innings and throws uh, and gives up 2 runs, and those 2 runs were in the first inning, and then you lose 8-4, that's crazy, crazy work. Um, so
Embarrassing. To the White Sox, no
yeah, to the
less.
White Sox. Yeah. So I
Again.
think Baltimore will figure out quick if their bullpen's there. The bullpen isn't the issue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Morton has not been good for them. Uh, I guess that's one addition
He needs to retire, to be
that they made,
honest.
but like the dude's also 40 years old, so um,
He's got to be
yeah.
done.
They just have to bolster that starting pitching rotation, whether it's even at this point going and making an early trade and being like, hey, we really need this. We gotta go solve this. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be quick. They're gonna be out of it quick, or they're gonna stick in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lineup will warm up at some point. Glaring address. They do need address pitching. It doesn't help that Rodriguez is out for some time, and then I think they had another guy that just had Tommy John and should be back later this year. I forgot his name. I think it's like Kyle something. Um, Sorry, Baltimore. I don't know ball apparently right now. But so they do have guys. Eventually, they'll come back. But so I think that's why I went fully freak out. The issue is, you know, you can see the best in guys that come back from Tommy John or the absolute worst. Um, and then I think actually no, I think Rodriguez had a huge step back. Now thinking about that, I think I saw an update because I was looking to stash him, and I think he might miss the entire year. Now just remembering that, or if it's like best case scenario, there's going to be an MRI for him. Um, if it goes perfectly, he might come back later in the summer. But so they have one guy coming back, the other don't think so. But I think ultimately allowing 24 runs to the freaking Reds is a massive red flag. You're in a division that's going to be hitting a lot of home runs. Tampa Bay being the least intimidating lineup out of all those. But even then, I mean, they've always found ways to overproduce with the talent they're given. And on top of that, you know, although your lineup theoretically should do well in Tampa in that stadium, so will Tampa's. And so you have to pitch in that. And then you obviously have the Red Sox lineup, which should figure it out at some point. Yankees are going to be the Yankees, and the Toronto's offense is kind of similar to Baltimore, where they're just way up and down. But they should have a good lineup too.
Yeah, and I
so
feel like the difference between
that's
Toronto and Baltimore is Toronto's pitching is consistent. Like they've got Gossman,
yeah,
they've got Bassett, Barrios is the
they got
yeah
guys they can
Barrios is
rely
their
on
only question mark, but like they have some other guys that they can rely on to get them innings.
that are
Yeah,
healthy. Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens to the Orioles. I felt pretty confident that they'd probably walk away with this division, um, but clearly letting Birds go um, left them a hole that they need to address. So um, that's all we had for baseball. Hockey, really quickly. Two notable things for game ones that we've seen so far. Should the Stars and Devils be panicking? We're expecting these to be early exits. I don't know, but the Devils got clobbered 4-1, and they are missing Jack Hughes the entire first round. The other team, the Stars, should only put up one against Colorado, albeit Nathan McKinnon's crying over a bloody nose that no blood came out. But what do I know? I'm just some moron, just watching the game. And then McCarr just magically falling when the stick was hit on the back part of his leg. Freaking flopping loser. Ridiculous that how many embellishments that Colorado could have had last night. But, at the end of the day, they were still a much better team. And that's not, the point was missing Robertson's a huge deal. Are either of these teams worried about losing in a quick series? For me, I think the Devils without Jack Hughes, I think they're probably going to lose in 5. That's just too big of a name to be missing. Dallas theoretically has the other pieces. It's just right now, I think even with Robinson in, their issue is defense has been sloppy. They're committing dumb turnovers. They're committing dumb penalties, albeit McCarr, is went to LeBron's schoolhouse of acting. Um, and even Jake has kind of looked out of sorts last night. I wouldn't really blame him. I'd be less worried about Dallas, especially since the one shining thing for Dallas is they haven't won a game one in a series, I think, since the Stanley Cup final in 2020. They might have done it once within that time frame, but Dallas is very familiar with losing game ones in the playoff round, and they've made it to the Western Conference final multiple times since then. So I'd be less worried about them than the Devils, but it's really a trend you need to stop, and especially now you're going into the playoffs cold against a really good team. Um, so I'm not as worried about Dallas, but I'm nervous. So, what do you think about those two?
I think the Devils are cooked. Unfortunately, uh, Jack Hughes, Jack Hughes is a big part of that offense, and I think without them or without since they've been without him, they just haven't been the same. Uh, he's just a great player all around, and he just brings a different side of the game for the Devils, and I
Yeah.
think they're just missing that because they don't have the depth like other teams do, like Carolina especially does, um, and they don't have you know the pure scorers that some other teams have in the playoffs, like the Oilers, like Dallas, like Colorado. Um, I would even say Aho is probably um, on that list. I mean, Ovi, obviously the greatest goal scorer of all time. They just don't have anyone else other than Hughes to do that for them consistently. Hersher is a great player, but I don't think he can do it alone. So for the Devils, I would panic a little bit. Their goalie situation also isn't great. I'm not saying that it was his fault tonight. I don't think that's the case tonight, but I think Carolina's in a better spot there, and I think Carolina's just got too much talent. As for the Stars, I think last night the, the score doesn't reflect, I think, how the game actually played. Colorado, in my opinion,
Yeah, that's what Pete
had
said.
one real goal. Uh, they had a power play goal, which on a penalty that shouldn't have been a penalty, and then they had one 5-on-5 goal. Uh, like before the empty netter and then the eventual fifth goal that happened, and at that point the Stars didn't care. And you could tell because the guy on the backside of the net was wide open, and Otter didn't even make a move to try and get there. So the Stars were just gone at that point and didn't care anymore. And then the first goal was honestly the
Pure
most
nonsense.
unfortunate thing that could have happened. Um, the Stars defender made a great play in dumping the Avalanche player in front of the net, and the puck popped up and hit his skate. It went right over the right shoulder of Otter. Most unfortunate goal that I think
Can't do
I've seen.
anything about that.
Offensively, I think even without Robertson, they looked good. Blackwood just was saving everything that came his way.
He was stopping all. He
There
was
was
stopping a
like
lot.
even
Yeah.
like when the Stars had their first power play, there probably should have been 3 goals. Like obviously, the power play would have ended, but there was 3 chances that they should have scored on, and Blackwood saved every single one of them. And then in the second period, before the Avalanche scored their first one, the Stars 100% had 2 chances right before that Blackwood stopped them. So I think yes, the Stars scored 1 goal, but they had the chances. They just got to put them in the back of the net. So I think the Stars without Robertson is going to hurt. Um, but I think the Stars are in a better off position because they have other guys. Um, and you can juggle that lineup. In my opinion, I think DeBoer should put Granlund, Hintz, and Rantanen all in the same line because they played in Finland together. They played growing up on the same lines. They played for the Four Nations together. There's just chemistry there, and I feel like that would be a good line. I wouldn't touch the Duchesne, Marchment, Sagan line either. Those guys, historically, the last 2 years have produced together. And then just switch up the third and fourth line a little bit. Put Dodonov, Ben, and Johnston back together, and I feel like that would be a good line again. All playoffs last year, that line dominated. Uh, and so I think just a little bit of shake-up with the lines. I think the Stars could get some of that offense going again. We know that they can score. I think they just have to get past scoring one, and then it'll open up for them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Can't let Blackwood beat you though. Otter's definitely the better goaltender in theory. So hopefully he can find a way to get past him in the next game. So as long as you just try to even up in game two, don't want to go into Colorado down 2-0.
No.
So that's the big thing. So offense needs to find a way to score at least 3 before regulation, and if you allow 4, then that's on the defense. So the other thing was Winnipeg. They were looking like doing Winnipeg things before ultimately pulling away. Game 1, taking down St. Louis 5-3, but Connor only faced 17 shots, so that means he did allow 3 goals on those shots, and save percentage was like 820 something. Albeit 2 of them were power plays, so should Winnipeg be nervous about this series, just in terms of discipline? And we know that they've had issues with that in the past, with Scheifele just obliterating that one Canadian player a couple of years ago, and that kind of cost them in the long run. But should they be panicking, or and should they be nervous about Hellebuck's performance, or would you just kind of pin it more on just sloppy play? What are you thinking about last night's performance?
Yeah, I don't think Hellebuck was the issue. The first 2 goals specifically, I don't think, unfortunately, had a chance. Especially on the second one, he couldn't see that shot coming. The Blues put up a really good screen in front of him, and it's a D-man's job to get him out of there, and they didn't do that. And then the first one, on that power play, the Winnipeg D just didn't help Hellebuck in any way. Sundqvist was wide open on that side. And so, yeah, I don't think for Winnipeg you should panic about Hellebuck. You should panic more about the positioning of your defense. I think that's always been the issue.
Okay.
Especially for Winnipeg, watching Winnipeg in the playoff last year. Hellebuck was a little bit of an issue last year, but I think mostly it was that the
defense is out of place,
or be in the right positions for Hellebuck, and Hellebuck had to be the savior pretty much on every single shot. And when he had vision, he made the saves that he needed to make, and he made some tough ones, especially in the second period, to keep him in it, which they eventually came back to there. But I wouldn't panic about Hellebuck. You just got to be better disciplined on D and better position if you're Winnipeg. And if you can't, then the Blues will take advantage of it. And later down the road, if you take out St. Louis, a team like Colorado or Edmonton or Vegas will also take advantage of those things, because they got, in my opinion, more star power than the Blues do.
They definitely do. And St. Louis, a big issue with them is discipline themselves. Being a physical team, that was one thing that was a little worrying for Winnipeg. You know, St. Louis likes to throw the body, but the plus side to a team that likes to be more physical is they lack discipline and take bad hits. You know, the Blues had that really bad cross check that it was the right call. Can't do that. I was just the Blues coach, what's his name, Montgomery, was furious. I remember seeing that. He was really mad about that cross check, because that's not something you should be doing, especially in the neutral zone of all places. Um, yeah, and you're on the power play. So like, there was literally no reason to be doing that. Um, so obviously, I think discipline on both sides is going to be an issue. I think Winnipeg, you just got to be more patient because the Blues are going to, yeah, while they'll throw the body, they're going to make a lot more mistakes
Yeah,
in doing so. And you got the star power to get
and they're
through
also
it.
just a
So
younger.
just protect Hellebuck.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah, and they're
younger.
younger
They're
too.
going to be less disciplined. So just take advantage of those
Yeah,
moments.
true. Yeah, but can't use the experience, playoff experience, as a excuse for St. Louis
Yeah,
because Winnipeg has not really. I know they made the Western Conference Final maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but beyond that, they've had issues making it very far. But we'll see. It should be a good series. It was a pretty electric game one, and we'll see. Next time we record, we'll probably should know because we're not recording next week. We should know who wins that series. Or it'll be close. It'll be
yeah,
a game 7 if it's not done by then. It's very possible. So, really quickly, one NBA thing to note, and then we're gonna do one more. Rip, Toronto's up 2-0. Ottawa might actually lose that series. We'll see. But we had to throw more Nico slander in here just because he's trash. And before y'all get on us about, well, it was the owner's final say, I was just like, well, one, Nico literally came out and said it was his idea. Two, Nico didn't have to do it. Even if the owners approved this, or even if the owners told them to do it, Nico didn't have to do it. So everybody is at fault here. But we're going to throw shade to Nico because he's the one that ultimately drives the decisions. Owners just nudge it in the direction they prefer. But Nico recently, I remember saying he had remarked that he was so confident in his team that he was looking forward to playing the Thunder in round one. Well, congratulations, you stupid moron. You couldn't even get out of the play-in, which is already Mickey Mouse, by the way. And we all know how Charles Barkley feels about it. I'm with him on this. I get the Heat were in the play-in recently and made the finals, but that was kind of a Mickey Mouse run, and not necessarily a Mickey Mouse run, but they weren't beating the freaking Nuggets.
no,
It's just such a stupid concept. And the Mavericks stood no chance. And you want to know how we know that, chat? The Grizzlies, who beat the Mavericks by 20, lost game one to the Thunder by not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 50, but 51 freaking points. So if we want to use this logic, obviously the Mavericks wouldn't lose by 70 in real life because at some point both teams would just, kick the curb and just, kill the clock and bring in backups. But in theory, if we use this logic, the Mavericks would have lost by approximately 70 points. They lost to the team that lost to the Thunder by 50. And they lost to that team by 20, as I earlier explained. So, unbelievable. So I'm going to hand it off to you and just spread a little bit more Nico slander, how you're feeling right now.
yeah.
And just whatever you got on your chest, unload it. So
Yeah, I saw. I mean, now that the Mavs are out, there's been a couple more things that have come out about the whole situation. Apparently, Nico had a private press conference, with a bunch of the local media. And for reference, whenever a big trade happens, you're supposed to normally talk to the local media pretty soon after the trade happened. The Mavs were on a road trip in Cleveland, so that normally doesn't happen. They normally do the, press conference whenever they get right back in town. Nico decided, I'm not doing a press conference. So he never did a press conference until literally, I think it was last week is what I saw. It was a closed door press conference, and there's a guy, I think it's I think he's an ESPN guy. I think his name, I know his name's Tim. I think his last name's McMahon. I could be wrong, but I know his first name's Tim. And he asked Nico, why did he trade him? Like, do you have any regrets on the trade? And Nico says, well, no, I don't have any regrets. Defense wins championships, and I'm standing by that. So if defense wins championships, Why did John Morant, who was playing on one good ankle, dice you up? That shouldn't happen. Number two,
Luka dropped 45 on
AD
you
dropped
in
40.
the what they played.
Not taking that away from AD. AD had a great game. Um, Respect for AD for even continuing to play all the way there. You gave up 120 points and lost by 20. You didn't play defense. Let me just start with that. You didn't play defense, and if defense wins championships and that's what you built, why are you playing in a playing game? So, your plan didn't work. Just admit your plan didn't work. Admit you screwed up. And just everyone will move on from it. Also, the president or the CEO, whatever, I don't even know his name because I don't even care. But he also has no clue what he's doing. He doesn't even know probably what basketball is. So I don't know how he got the job he did with the Mavs.
Patrick Dumont?
Yes.
Is that who you're talking about?
No clue how he got that job. He knows nothing about basketball in any sort of way.
Mark Cuban should have never sold.
Yeah, I didn't realize I would miss Mark this quickly. I knew I'd miss him because the dude did so many great things. And then on top of that, Luka did a sit-down interview. I think it was this week or last week.
Yeah, I should have brought this up. I'm glad you are.
He got the call from Nico, and he threw his phone across the room. For those that don't know, he just closed on a house in Dallas, wanted to stay in Dallas his whole career, and when he was asked in this interview, did you expect to be a Mav for life and for the rest of your career, he said yes. That he was never going to leave. He never gave them any intention of him leaving. He was staying a Mav. And so he threw his phone across the room whenever he got the news. And so then she asked, are you going to stay with the Lakers now? Because apparently one big thing about Luka is he's loyal. That doesn't happen much in the NBA anymore. That doesn't happen much in sports in general. Luka has always been loyal. He took a pay cut to stay with Dallas so that they could get Kyrie. Luka wanted to be with Dallas, did a bunch of different things to stay with Dallas, and in a sense make Dallas a better team than they probably should be with the contract that he deserves. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was willing to take a pay cut rather than getting the supermax that he 100% deserves, just so he could be a championship contender. Also, if defense wins championships, how did you go from an NBA Finals team last year to a play-in team that didn't even make the playoffs? So, it's the same team. Yes, I understand Kyrie is out with the torn ACL. That makes sense. But if Luka was playing on the Mavs still would have made the playoffs and not had to do a play-in game. So,
Here's the other thing. Kyrie's not a good defender. Klay Thompson, who you picked up, is not known for his defense. What are you talking about, Nico? Defense wins championships as you built your backcourt. You built Kyrie. It was originally Luka, Klay, and Kyrie. None of them known for defense. If you're going off that logic, you should have shipped Klay and you should have shipped Kyrie because you are such a hypocrite. You're so full of crap. He's just such a moron. Just admit you're stupid and move on. That's what the city of Dallas wants because you are an idiot. You do not know what you're doing. You are such a liar. The other thing, I thought you were going to bring this up. He, on top of not having any regrets, he wasn't sure if Luka was going to sign the Supermax. He literally said that. So, that's just so full of crap. It just proves he's a liar. You can't believe that you traded him because of conditioning and lack of defense and then go on and say, well, we weren't sure he was going to resign. You're lying one way or the other. There's just no way you believe both of those statements. So you're a liar. You're a hypocrite. You are a horrible GM. Retire. Be banished to the Shadow Realm. And yes, it was me that sent you 1,000 messages on Instagram saying, you should be fired. You suck. And I did get a 7-day ban from sending in memes for it. It was worth it. I hate you, Nico. You are trash. So, what a clown. It is hard to be more incompetent than a Chicago GM/owner. Congratulations, Dumont and Nico. You have outdone yourself. You have truly outdone yourself. You might be on levels of McCaskey's bad. That is saying a freaking lot. Because those guys are a bunch of... I don't even want to get into that. But, wow. Feels good to get that off my chest. So I can't wait to get my unbanned so I can send another 1,000 messages and probably get permanently banned from Instagram. It'll be worth it. So, if you haven't already blocked me. So, we are at an hour, but I said we do multiple immaculate grids. We're going to end with an immaculate grid because I want to. I think we can redeem ourselves here. I think we can. I will pick this last one, and that will be good. I am thinking, I wish there was like a random button. That'd be kind of... I guess it doesn't really make sense for that, though. Let's go, can we go with the first one ever? Oh, man. I'm going to say that for a different day. Let's go, boom. 460, sure. Oh! So we get a Cubs mention here. So, in the rows, it's the Phillies, the Angels, and the Astros. So, hopefully you should have the AL Central covered. Or AL West, sorry. And then in the columns is Cubs, played third base minimum 1 game, and 30 home runs season batting. And they had to have done it with that team. So, where do you want to start?
I feel like the Angels.
I'm going to go a certified ball knower, and Jeff Bagwell definitely hit 30 home runs.
Wow.
Little surprised that's higher than I thought.
I was going to say...
I know he's an Astros legend. That's my bad.
Probably Biggio
Okay.
did it. Or, who's the other guy? George Springer.
Yeah, I probably should have done Springer at that point. I thought people would have forgotten about Bagwell, to be honest.
Fair.
But that's okay. I'll go Kyle Hendricks for Angels. Certified ball knower. Cubs, Astros. Ooh. Oh, wait. A classic. We're bringing back my boy. Daryl Ward, baby. Bang. Shout out to Daryl Ward. Let's go. Cubs, Phillies. Cubs, Phillies might not... Well, I mean, Jake Arrieta... I've done Jake Arrieta recently.
Okay.
I'd rather not do that.
I'm hoping this works out. For played third base in the Astros, do you remember... He's still currently playing. I think he plays in the NL West at this point. Ray Kessinger for the Astros.
That name is not familiar.
Gray. Grae. No, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
Is he on here?
I don't think so. You said Kessinger?
It's Gray as in Grae. Kessinger.
Oh.
There he is.
A.E. What the?
Oh, I guess he's in the league. He 100% I know played with the Astros. And he at least played short. I'm pretty sure he is an actual by trade third baseman.
Screw it. Ball knower. You are a ball knower. Look at that. Daryl Ward and Gray Kessinger. Natural. Yeah, those are the first 2 guys everybody thinks about when it comes to immaculate grid. Oh, man. That's crazy. I can't remember if Troy Gloss was third base for...
I know we talked about...
I don't think so.
No. I remember Howie Kendrick, how we, the last time, said if he ever did. I don't think he ever did. Unfortunately.
I don't know if he played third. My issue is, did Torrey Hunter hit 30 homers in a year for the Angels?
Who was there?
David Freese. David Freese would have played third.
Yeah.
You could do David
He
Freese.
played a year, I think, with him.
Boom.
I was trying to think. I was trying to think of something smaller than that, but 2%'s great.
I'm shooting for pretty low, but like not like anything super crazy. Oh, I guess granted, I did get word, and apparently Kyle Hendricks is
That's great.
.05, but um,
30 plus.
let's see, Phillies. We could go Mike Schmidt. Not mentioned very often.
Ryan
His
Howard.
problem is, I'm thinking about Ryan Howard too. Chase Utley, did he ever do
He
it?
was never a power guy.
I thought he at least hit 20
Yeah, I think
once.
he hit 20. I don't think he ever got there.
Oh, what about Jason Worth?
I don't.
I don't know
so.
if he
I
did
think
either
he's also
though.
more of a
He's more a
contact
defensive guy,
defensive
wasn't he?
guy.
Yeah. See, now I'm trying to get greedy and go as low as I can. I don't know who's going to be lower between Ryan Howard and Mike Schmidt. That's the thing. I feel like Ryan Howard might be. They're both going to be above 10% though.
I don't know. I think most people are going to think Harper, Schwarber, like most
That's a good point.
non-ball knowers. I think are going to go that way, where I think Mike Schmidt and Ryan Howard are going to go kind of under the radar.
Well, we could go Ryan Howard then because, like, I know 100% he did it. Mike Shit did too. I'm 99% sure, but Ryan Howard was definitely. I bet he's gonna be 15% still.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Even
I see.
higher.
That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about. I'm curious to see. Like, I wish I could redo it and see what Mike Schmidt would have been. Like, I really want to know. I feel like we should have done Mike Schmidt, but hey, technically we could do Mike Schmidt for third base, but I want to try to get someone less common that didn't really play it very often. Like, who's there? Alec Bohm? Probably people name
who
that.
is their third baseman before him?
Someone bad, probably, because I think he's been playing
Yeah,
that for a while. And they,
I don't even know. I'm trying to remember who played third for their um, World Series,
World Series team.
and I can't even think of that. Yeah, I don't know much about the Phillies, so if you want to go Schmidt, you can. Because that's probably better than Bohm.
I guess we can do it. I just don't like the idea that we're gonna. Yeah. All right. We'll test out the waters. See how high this is. Yeah.
I just don't know.
I think that's what I was worried about. That's okay though. I mean, we're at least filling them out. I just think, and this will get us good points here. We need to lock in here on these two though to try to get lower. Phillies Cubs. I mean, again, Jake Arrieta, and maybe people forgot about the Jake Arrieta era in Philly.
if they forgot about Kyle Hendricks.
Kyle Hendricks, to be fair, just started with Anaheim this year, and I'm noticing that trend that, like, if you name someone that switched teams in the offseason, it's going to be really
This
low.
is also
because that's the second time I've done that now.
This is also like probably a couple years ago.
Yeah, this one's old too, so people aren't really using that now.
I mean, Schwarber also.
Crazy. Schwarber, yeah. Schwarber will be higher
yeah.
than Arrieta, I think.
I'm just trying to.
Um,
Other guys too.
I wish Milton Bradley. I need Cubs
Did
Mariners so
Kimbrel
bad.
ever play for the Cubs?
Yeah, he
He
did.
played for the Phillies.
Kimbrel, yeah, because he went to the Cubs and the Cubs traded him to the White Sox, and that's when the I can't believe I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday meme popped up for Craig Kimbrel. So I remember.
Yep.
I remember my brother sending that, and I thought that was so funny. So we could do. Craig Kimbrel might be lower, to be honest. I you know what? As long as we're certain, yeah, I'm pretty sure he played for
think that's where
Philly.
he
If not,
started.
is playing for him right now. No, he started in Atlanta.
I know he was a Philly.
Okay, 6%. I think Arrieta would have been higher than that, so that's good. We need to lock him in the back of our minds because that's Cubs, White Sox, Phillies, Braves, Red
Orioles.
Sox, Phillies, Orioles. What, that's 7 teams? Yeah. At least. If not played, I don't know if he's played with anybody else, but I mean, that's a good one to keep in their back pocket. Okay, Angels 30. I feel like Troy Gloss did it. I feel like, Vlad did it. I'm not dumb, but. And maybe we just do Vlad just for the sake of, giving him a shout out. And I'm tempted to do it. Our score's not going to be, terribly great. But I want to try to think. Did Ward ever do it?
So.
I
mean, Pujols.
Either. We could go
Pujols.
Pujols.
Also, probably be higher.
Josh Hamilton definitely didn't do it.
He went to
That's
Anaheim
brutal.
and collapsed.
Sean Figgins, a name I mention a lot for the Angels. He definitely didn't do it. Oh, Mark Teixeira. He started in Anaheim. Wait, no. He started in Texas.
Yeah, he was a Ranger.
He started in Texas, and I think he went to Anaheim.
Or did
he do it in Anaheim?
No, he also played for the A's, I'm pretty sure.
He was the Yankees. He ended with the Yankees.
I think he went to the
three.
A's before the Yankees. I think
Really?
So. I could be wrong.
Oh, man, I want to do Mark Teixeira so bad.
I just don't know if he hit 30.
Also, I mean, are we confident he did it with the Yankees? Here's a better question. Did he do it as a Ranger?
I mean, does it have to be with the team?
Yes.
I don't know if he did it as a Ranger. He wasn't with the Rangers long.
No, he wasn't.
The crappy...
I'm going to go Troy Gloss.
The crappy...
I'm pretty sure Troy Gloss did it at some point.
7%.
Okay. 86. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's look this up. Mark Teixeira. Really quickly, and then we can call it. That's a pretty good score. I feel pretty confident that he did it with Anaheim. I'm almost... Because he's a 400 home run hitter. I'm almost... The Red Sox drafted him? Oof. Oh, it was... But it was out of high school. It was out of high school. So it's one of those, yeah, I'm not going to do this. He went to Atlanta?
I didn't know that.
Glad we didn't do L.A. He only played 54 games there. He raked, though. So, in my defense, he had 358 as an Angel.
That's crazy.
54 games, 3.7 WAR. His WAR, he almost had a game. Not a war game. Whatever. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, glad we didn't do that, but interesting. I didn't know he went to the Braves. So he didn't go to the A's. Okay. He went to the Braves. I have no recollection of that happening.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
No recollection. That's crazy that I remember. He played with the Braves more than the A's. Or the Angels. So, wild that I remember the Angels more. I think it's just because he was so freaking good in Anaheim. But, regardless, that's a good way to end off. We had a pretty good score there, 86. Our lowest is 79. So, we got to keep grinding and try to get as low as we can. So, we've been cooking on them lately. Now that we're in a routine. But the one thing we need to do, we got to study the Marlins.
Yeah.
So bad. And relief pitchers.
Yeah.
So, anything you got before we sign out? All right. Well, then we'll see y'all next time, and go with Senators.